Okay, we're playing Icetill Coffers here. Somehow we haven't done this. Maybe there was like maybe Resentful Revelation was the missing piece, but I've been just kind of daydreaming about Cabal Coffers a little bit. I don't know if it's that we keep playing against that Umori Coffers deck. I don't know if it's that I just kind of miss it. I'm not sure, but I had been daydreaming about it for a little bit. And I realized that we had not played Icetill Coffers. Obviously, I think this is a pretty interesting thing to explore. Icetill is, I think, a modern staple. It's been just phenomenal. And I think the key to building this deck is trying to figure out how you make Icetill not only a really good source of mana advantage, right? Not only a very good source of mana advantage, but also a source of card advantage. Now, usually how you do that with Icetill Explorer is that you loop Ghost Quarters, or you try to assemble like milling something good plus shifting woodland, or you're milling like maybe Flage and Faithless Looting and this kind of stuff. And we've kind of gone that direction here, where when we've been playing against the Umori Coffers deck a surprising amount lately, this card, Resentful Revelation, has just looked amazing. It's a 2-mana, draw 3, or look at the top 3, put 1 in the hand, rest in the graveyard, and then it flashbacks for 7. Very simple card, but in a Cabal Coffers deck, the flashback is so nice so that you just don't run out of gas ever. And it also is an early game setup to assemble your Coffers Urborg. And then when you pair it with Icetill Explorer, which I think is pretty new, all of a sudden your deck has 3 Cling to Dust and 4 Resentful Revelations. So as you are assembling a ton of mana with Icetill Explorer, you just have the ability to flash back your card draw spells to dig for removal, Karn, Pillage the Bog, etc., etc. Pillage the Bog, also very good with Icetill. You have a lot of lands that you just get to dig for Karn, and you get to Karn for the best thing possible on the board. I'm not going to go through necessarily all the Karn targets, although I will say the number of Karn targets can change. The big finisher here is Mindslaver. I think this one's really important as like your I win the game button, which it uses most of the time. Now one thing that's always an issue with Coffers when you're playing Karn is you have to balance having mostly a Karn sideboard with you're also a deck that's playing Fatal Push. Notably, Sheoldred's Edict is not really dead in any matchup. Like this is a card that's good against Control. It's good against Tron. It's fine against Titan. This is a card that's fine in every matchup, but Push. Sorry, excuse me. Push isn't. And basically every matchup Push is bad. Duress is going to be pretty good. And so I think having access to at least 2 Duress for the pushes is pretty good. Emrakul's good in a lot of these matchups. Control is also like... Control and Mill are basically like impossible without Emrakul. Or maybe not impossible, but Control is like very tough without Emrakul. Because you don't have that many like must counters. You have like 8. And so it can be kind of difficult to stick these because you're low on discard spells, although you're higher post board. But... you play one Emrakul, you kind of just can't lose these matchups. So I'm playing one right now. Maybe it's not that important, but you can also just kind of bring in a Haywire Mite or a Nihil Spellbomb or a Phoenix Fleet Airship or a Stone Brain or a Disruptor Flute. You can just bring some of these in any matchups to get the pushes out of the board post board, and you only have to bring in like 1 or 2 of these post board as well. Am I scared this deck has too much filler? No, not. So when you say filler, I think it's kind of funny because like. I don't exactly know what that means, but we have a bunch of card selection, and then the card selection digs you for the cards you need in the specific spot. I mean, and this deck is just all like ramp removal and Karn. Ramp removal, Karn, card draw. And then Karn is just, it does everything. I don't know. I would say maybe you could expand on your filler point, but I would say I'm not too worried about it. We also have a Takenuma, so we can Sylvan Scrying for a big payoff in the late game to buy back a Karn or an Icetill. I think this is the best option. I saw a comment this morning about Ghost Quarter in this deck and how, hey, we're not playing Ghost Quarter. You really, and so far, I think the Ghost Quarter loop doesn't fit because you want to just play as many lands out as possible. And you want to do that like even throughout the entire game, right? Where the more lands you play, the bigger your coffers are, obviously. But then you need that extra mana because of the Resentful Revelation. Oh, what did I just cut? Why am I blanking? Okay, we'll figure out what that was in a sec. I guess I'll look at Amit with the 10 months. I've totally lost my train of thought. Tanakh with the 11. Glask with the 26. So, Sheoldred's Edict, thank you. But you need all of that extra mana. You need all of that extra mana so that you can flashback your Resentful Revelations into a payoff or into what you're digging for. And so the Ghost Quarter looping, obviously it will be good in some situations. In some matchups, it can lock your opponents out. But you're just kind of always happy to be playing as many lands as possible, and you really reliably have access to action because of the Clings and the Revelations, which I think is really the key here. I'm going to keep this. Maybe a little slow on the draw. My opponent's thinking here. I guess if my opponent's going to take this long to show up, or we'll just have the hand hider up for a second for the mulligans. Right, they decided to keep their 7. Okay, is this the same opponent? They imprinted Ulamog, so probably not. Probably green-red or red-blue. Looking for Cabal Coffers, Thoughtseize, not a Fatal Push. See if they have the turn 3 through the breach on the play. No, we lost against Mill. My opponent, Echoing Truth, 3 Guide of Souls. That was crazy. So we get snared. Let me pass back. They get a Surveil off. Playing against a lot of weird decks today. I think one reason I like the Karn build of Omni Woodlands is with Explore plus Rumble, that turn 3 Karn is just kind of fine against a lot of decks. Turn 3 Karn is fine against a lot of decks. That is the argument for it. But when you have 4 Icetills, you already have a bunch of other good 4 drops to slam for whatever that's worth. What decks makes Jailer better than Grafdigger's? Living In and Storm, the 2 decks I said. It's very relevant against both those matchups, and Cage isn't that very relevant against either of those, is it? All right, so I guess now we'll use the Revelation, since the Pillage the Bog gets better the longer you wait on it here. We don't find a Thoughtseize or a Coffers. I guess I'll take the Marsh Flats. The Clean gets some value in the yard. Soulless Jailer stops the Storm players from playing not only their Past in Flames cards, but it also stops all of the like draw 2s. Right, so it seems like this turn Karn really just stops the Talisman. So I think we want to try to get the Icetill to ramp us and maybe dig us for a Cabal Coffers. Maybe we'll Pillage the Bog. Maybe we won't. I think I'll get another Overgrown Tomb and try to Pillage the Bog here. I don't really want to walk into another snare. Just use the mana this turn. Hoping not to get K commanded, of course. What am I missing that makes Grafdiggers not prevent Living In and Past Flames? It does prevent Past in Flames. Soulless Jailer prevents Past in Flames, and it also stops Rin's Resolve, Reckless Impulse, Clips. And then Grafdigger's Cage, it also stops Ral Ultimate. And then Grafdigger's Cage does not stop Living In because the cards go to the graveyard or the exile first. It's very dumb. Take it up with Wizards. But Cage does nothing against Living In. My opponent puts Ulamog in their hand. However, there are there's nothing in exile at the moment, so we don't need to necessarily be too worried about Through the Breach Ulamog. Let's play our first Cabal Coffers here. We did just bottom some other copies for whatever that's worth. What does Jailer do against Living In? So Living In is cast from exile. When you cascade into Living In, you're casting it off of exile, so it stops it from being cast, which is good. It's good that it stops it from being cast. We're 1 mana short of Mindslaver, although they have main deck. They have main deck Consign. So a flashback of Revelation here. I guess I'll grab another copy of Icetill and just attack for 2. Their hand is Ulamog, Mystery Card, Mystery. Oh, sorry, I guess let's not attack. I probably just want to chump block Ulamog. We played the challenge today. We won round 1 against Prowess, and we lost to Living In and Mill. Very tough matches too. It was pretty ahead game one, like post living in, and then drew 5 lands in a row. They go K return and then another K return maybe. Oh, K return Null Drifter, cool play. So there's Takenuma for Karn. Big upside with playing the Icetill first, though. Maybe not actually. It's only it's -3 mana. Yeah, I think I'll just try to rely on just this one coffers this turn. So I have 9, 10, 15. So I've got -8. So I can Karn for a 7 drop. So Karn Stonebrain through the breach, probably. Okay, only one Karn left in the deck now. Bridge? Is Bridge better? Bridge could be better. Although I kind of need to attack. Maybe that's not the biggest deal, right? They could. I want to Stonebrain them. There's some value also just because this is game one. I guess I should. I should maybe have Icetilled first, but no, I can Icetill for kind of free here first. And then there is we played it. There's a 6 mana through the breach that you can play that I think is I don't know how often other people are putting it in their decks, but I do think it's pretty good. But seeing their deck list is gonna make the rest of the match easier too. So they have 2 through the breaches in their hands. So we are letting them draw 2 cards. They aren't playing any of the 6 mana through the breach. So they have 2 main deck consigns, 2 main deck subtleties, 1 main deck spell pierce, 2 main deck force of negation, 2 main deck K return. What do I think of a more traditional mono black list? We've played mono black, although that's not mono black, that's black and colorless, right? But we have played that. We have played it with K command. It's playable. It's playable. It's not super exciting though. I'm at the moment feeling like a big believer in this version and recommend this version. Sheoldred's Edict is crazy good here, by the way. I think I'm also going to bring in a Mite. Could also bring in a Flute. Maybe a Flute's better than a Mite. Yeah, it probably is. Kind of like naming K command or Through the Breach. Yeah, I have made a turtle video. You can find it on the YouTube. Posted it yesterday. Resentful Revelation. Never heard that card before. Seems interesting. Yeah, so we've actually been playing against Umori Coffers a lot, and the card's like been looking really good out of that deck. And in a lot of ways, this deck does not work without Revelations because having 4 Revelation, 4 or 3 Cling to Dust makes it to where your Icetill Explorers are able to really reliably be a source of card advantage for you. And you get to like make a ton of mana with the Icetills and have all of these flashback spells so you don't run out of gas it's sort of the thesis statement here. I guess we mulligan this. It's obviously the second Urborg is a big problemo. No discard spells also a little bit. Not where we want to be. All right, I'm going to bottom the Takenuma because we might just want to natural coffers this game. Take the stock up. Would you consider Zern over in the side so you can sack coffers? We play with Icetill bunch of mana. No, when you're tutoring something and you have a bunch of mana, you don't get Zern Orb to give you a bunch more mana. You okay, they have a Through the Breach. Alert. Yeah, but you don't want to just get more mana, or you want to get something big to cast off the mana like 99% of the time. Okay, now the Through the Breach is handled, although I guess they couldn't cast it this turn. Even if they drew another imprintable, they would not have something to Through the Breach into play, right? Kind of feels like they drew it with that pause, maybe. We're kind of hoping they go for it next turn so we can just Sheoldred's Edict. So think we take the Karn so we can go Icetill into hold up Edict next turn. Karn's a little bit awkward. I guess we could go Coffers Karn. Have I tried Esper Origins? I've played it a little bit. I've played it in the Teamer Battlecryer deck, if you remember that one. They have a K command. So they can through the breach no matter what, right? They just go land, Emrakul back in their hand through the breach, which we're definitely hoping happens. We could probably suspect we'll put the hand hider up if they don't cast through the breach this turn. They did put one card on top, one card on the bottom. So I'm gonna go Icetill into Cabal Coffers into Mortuary. Thinking of playing Dimir Flash. Any thoughts of Sideboard and Meta full of Storm and Yawgmoth? You should be pretty good against Storm. Yawgmoth, your biggest issue is dealing with Cauldron, so just trying to make sure you can snare, not let them halfling too. Make sure you kill halflings. Maybe play some of the the new 1 mana fatal push in the sideboard, or like the worst fatal push. All right, so we'll play an Urborg. Got a pretty green heavy hand. I did mill another Revelation here. If I mill another Coffers exactly, then I would have played the second Icetill, but we didn't. So I'm just gonna cast a Pillage the Bog. To remember, I hope the person who asked about this earlier is listening. I mean, it seems like I'll just take the Karn, although the Emrakul is pretty juicy. All right, we'll see if they have a Consign as one of their last 2 cards. I have 4 mana here. And they just concede. Nice. Couple activation plays to Plot Bog. Nah, we got too much mana to Plot Bog this turn. Mulligan the 6-lander. Go to 5. Requiting Hex Lockmare value. I liked Lockmare. I just don't know if there's another good shell to play it in besides the Aether Vial shell. I'm gonna go pee real quick while we wait for our opponent to show up. Okay, my opponent kept 7. I'm gonna mulligan again. As y'all saw, that hand was a little bit tough. I guess we're gonna keep this on 5 on the draw here. Sure. Maybe a little bit slow should be okay. My opponent's leading on a Windswept Heath. Oh, I hate this Revelation. Ugh. Any lore masters? What is Sephiroth so upset about? Is it his boyfriend Cloud is seeing another villain, or so take the Delta? Bitter Triumph has felt great as a 2-mana removal spell, by the way. Dude, it doesn't kill Scion of Draco. It's like a non-starter. It's got it. I just am not playing anything besides Sheoldred's Edict. Edict also hits walkers. I don't know if you saw that, know that. So we're on the play against Boros, so then we're on a Moldify, which is tough. His origin? Wait, this is his origin? What does that mean? Okay, definitely don't hate Explore here. He's finding out he's basically the kind of alien that wiped out the planet or something like that. And wait, so he found out he's evil in a book and then he became evil? Edict does hit walkers, Triumph could also group match shows. I mean, that's fine. The thing is, Modern asks you to, your answers just have to be so versatile right now with the different threats that are presented. And, you know, Edict is a card that can kill, it can kill Kappa Cannoneer, it can kill a Johnny, it can kill Sheoldred's Edict, it can kill anything. And I just, for me, I'm just not going to play another 2-mana black removal spell besides Sheoldred's Edict for the foreseeable future. My opponent grabs a Ragavan. We find a Karn, which is interesting. Do I play the Karn here? I think I'm gonna put Pillage here. I don't like going Karn for bridge because of the Ranger Captain. If they sack the Ranger Captain, it's probably okay. So I find Cabal Coffers, which is probably what we want. And then I don't know, maybe I think I'm gonna get Battleship. Maybe I should have fetched a basic swamp here. But I think I'm just gonna grab Battleship. Why not land first to see 2 more cards so I can find Cabal Coffers? His origin shows the power of reading and transforming the lives of individuals. Oh, I finished Name of the Wind and the Wise Man Sphere. They're good. I would recommend them. And now I join y'all in waiting for book 3 forever, probably. Book club on Thursdays after the stream. So they're exerting an arena, probably a Ragavan getting thrown here. And a Voice of Victory. Yeah, I have the novellas. There's 2 novellas. There's one about Bast and one about is it Arya? Is that her name? The weird girl. I started reading it. It was a little. It felt like so much like the writing exercises I've done. I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know if I like the way it started at least. Okay, they flip over Icetill. Interesting that they leave Karn alive. They're definitely going to be like sacking the Ranger Captain. It is already okay. For some reason it looked weird. They have not gained life. So they're going to sack the Captain. And I can't cling on their turn, so we'll cling now. I guess I do have a choice if I want to sack my Delta to leave a Revelation in the yard, or if I think the 1 life is worth more. So my opponent's gonna have 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, I this leaves me not dead to Flage. Yeah, this just leaves me not dead to Flage. I think that's gotta be correct. I've done Pride Manufacturer. I think I've done it once. I don't think it's that good. Not that bad either. Bookstream every time Moto has maintenance. Yeah, I was kind of thinking about doing something for Moto maintenance this time, but I'm helping a friend move instead on Wednesday. So we're dead to Bombardment. In No Shoot, the 14 months. Glad you're still liking the stream. Good to see you. So I'm down to 4. They do ignore Karn, so they're kind of acting like they have a bombardment, although they could have just saved us all this trouble and played it pre-combat. Not the biggest deal, right? Okay. Congrats. Go to game 2. Tough bowl to 5, almost squeezed out of there. Ranger Captain's so good in Boros. Has been so good at Boros all this time. Also, like, I've been advocating for Ranger Captain in Boros since like over a year ago. And like now, it's only now finally seeing some play. I don't really feel like the format's changed that much that it's like I don't know if it's like a specific thing, or I think it's just always been better than Fable. Maybe good since release. I think so. I don't know when, like, how long I've had it in the deck since. Like, it's been a long time since we've gone from testing the new Boros stuff. I think I might have even had it before the MH3 Pro Tour. Let me see if we can find it in the Mox field. Okay, over 1 year ago. Though I don't know if this was before the PT or not. I was still on my unstable amulet kick, so maybe that's why nobody trusted me. Freezing Fist. Tier 1 for 3 months in advance. You know what's funny about the red permanents for a Johnny thing is Ranger Captain can be a red permanent because it can get Ragavan. It has seen play already when Storm and Belcher were huge. I know it's seen a little bit of play every once in a while, but it only feels like recently it became stock. You know what I mean? But like I just remember like I think it's always been better than Fable. Like it's a better grindy card than Fable, and it's also a more interactive card than Fable. It just I don't know, it's just so good. I guess I take one of the one drops and edict the other. Gotta be Ragavan. I don't think it matters really much which one we take. But Shooter's Edict, do you think it should be mainboard for Moonshadow too? So in Moonshadow, Abigail plus Moonshadow lets you beat Scion of Draco enough of the time, or Abigail plus Death Shadow. Like I've been beating Domain Zoo game one sometime against them, so I don't think you need to main deck it. Okay, and of course the Magic Gods do not punish them. Let's take the Cabal Coffers. I don't know. They drew the land. We're gonna lose. I don't know if there's much else to say here. They drew land. There's no justice in this world. No justice. All right, we continue. Did we just have one? Yeah, but they just closed. I just know they closed the windows. I don't know how much. I don't want to have this descend into band talk, but I don't know. All right, they're on a mold to 6. I'm on a mold to 6. We're both on the draw. Do you have Eternals PowerPoint ETA? Yes, yesterday is the ETA. Gonna mana tithe me? I'll get it to you yesterday. Everybody bursts out laughing. When they thought about, did they wait? Were they thinking about Solitude Consign here? That would have been nuts. We're gonna take the Consign. Very important question. I'm currently in the Arena Championship Qualifier Draft 2-5-0. It fails to find me an opponent. Can I do something? Well, unfortunately, we're Magic Online players, or at least I'm a Magic Online player. I don't know about Arena. But I think what might be happening is like that there's no one left playing because it's Monday instead of Sunday. I thought that everything's done yesterday. Sorry, my hair is a freaking mess here. So we're playing against Esper Gorios. All the main deck clings might come in handy here. They graveyard a Marsh Flats. They play Hallowed Fountain, untapped, so they can Mending, presumably. One explores. Please draw a Psychic Frog opponent. They discard a Delta and a Plains. Love to see no Atraxa going into the graveyard. Then they play a Marsh Flats. Their hand is Prismatic Ending, Solitude, and then a Mystery card. Maybe they'll flashback the Mending this turn. I already have a Bog to pillage. I kind of want to draw a land. Did not draw a land. Just plot here. I'm surprised they kept. Maybe they. I don't know why they kept the ending. Maybe they don't know what the matchup is. I'm surprised they discarded 2 lands there. They discarded 2 more lands. Okay, well, I guess they're just Mega Mongo flooded. All right, we can push the Fun Raveler. All right, let's find a land. We do find a land. I guess it's a little weird to play Icetill. Yeah, I still into Safari and Solitude. Let's just maybe wait till we can get double lands. I guess they'd have to Solitude, but seems like it just makes sense to wait. I'm gonna grab the Spellbomb, probably. Yeah. Might end up grabbing an Airship also this game. So hand is Ending Solitude Mystery card. They do a lot of times play a green source. Sometimes it's a breeding pool, sometimes it's a surveil land. They main phase another Mending. So it's pretty risky unless they have Goryo's in their hand, because they know I have Spellbomb. So if they do draw a Traxa, they can't really discard it. They discard Archon of Cruelty. Okay, it's interesting to see Esper persist instead of Esper Goryo's. I think Goryo's is just a better for the Esper shell in general. I don't think that's very controversial. And they don't play a land. Yeah, I think that they messed up holding on to these a little too long. I think I'm gonna be down to play my Icetill, play Marsh Flats. And then if my opponent doesn't immediately Solitude the Icetill, we get to play Spellbomb and Thoughtseize. Otherwise, probably just play Spellbomb. I think they're kind of incentivized to save the ending for the Spellbomb too. So they pitch a Solitude here. So okay, we do have an option. Because we could Thoughtseize the Prismatic Ending, and then the Spellbomb gets a lot better. But we're pretty cold to top deck Fatal Push. Yeah, it doesn't seem like being cold to top deck Fatal Push is a good move. We'll just play the Spellbomb, grab Coating here. Fun game. Kind of a classic modern game we're playing right now. Oh, they did discard an ending. Okay, sorry. I should have clicked that off. Still just gonna get the Spellbomb at there. They cannot both give, persist, flash, and minus a Spellbomb in the same turn, so you don't need to worry about that. If they do minus onto the Spellbomb, we'll crack it. Denies the card draw from the Teferi too. Why are we supposed to top deck Fatal Push? I said persist, right? Or maybe just goofing. I mean, persist on Archon seems tough here. Discard a Consign and an Ephemerate. They don't get to draw their card. They don't have a land. Thoughtseize. Itty bitty bunny bow. Not the hardest choice there. Why Mending in response? Well, it gets exiled, so it's a use it or lose it situation. They top deck Prismatic Ending? Well, that's their best draw by like a pretty significant amount. We're still pretty ahead though. Maybe I'll just grab an Airship. Probably not that good into the Teferi, actually. I might be setting up to grab my Coating back from exile here too. We'll see what we draw. All right, so let's go Sylvan Scrying for Cabal Coffers. Play Cabal Coffers, activate it. This is good for 6 mana. Then we'll cast Pillage the Bog, looking for a lot. Although maybe I should have just cast... Maybe I should just cast Battleship or something there. I'm going to grab another copy of Karn, and then... maybe I'll put a Mindslaver in play. Maybe I'll put maybe I'll Flute Teferi. Oh, sorry. We'll just go. Yeah, we'll go grab Coating. And then do this. Cool. Everybody, I know everybody's a Stone Rain pervert. We all are. So up a game against Goryo's. Oh, sorry. Persist. Gonna keep the Spellbomb as a Karn target. We have the Cling in the main as some main deck graveyard hate. I do want these Duresses. Maybe Duress over Scrying on the draw. I want all my removal, I think. They probably have Emperor Bones too. Did they make a mistake having coding target lands? I don't think so, no. I think it's fun. It's especially when it was printed like years and years before Karn. Y'all remember Mycon's Lattice? It's still a little wild to me that they banned Lattice instead of Karn, although I do generally think Karn has been a fun card to deck build with over the years. I think it was a good choice. Considering Torque is not land. I mean, Torque is also, you know, a mana rock. Possible line, coding Teferi, turn creature, push it. Yeah, I miss those lines pretty often. You know, I think I've only ever turned my own Karn into a creature with coding one time. It's like, you would think that this would come up more often with how often I have coding for Karn or Karn for coding, but you could turn Karn into a creature by turning into an artifact first and plussing on it. And it's like it's a planeswalker creature artifact, which is pretty fun type line. But it doesn't come up as often as I'd want it to. I think I've only ever got to do it one time. Value Town. Interesting upkeep pause. People think Karn is fun. I think Karn is a super fun deck building card. Yeah, I can see it. Sometimes it's not that fun of a card to play against for sure. I'm sure there's a few other examples of cards that are like really fun to deck build with, but maybe are less fun for gameplay. Maybe Amped Raptor is an example of that. Maybe not. Do I think Goryo's is underplayed? Yeah, I think so. I think Goryo's is probably pretty good at the moment. I have been liking the Deceit Reanimator deck though. It's pretty similar vibes. You know, with Karn you get to put Mindslaver in your deck too. Cool. 3/5 Riddler. Then they Thoughtseize me. I saw Revelation that you're Mori Coffers. Yeah, Revelation's it's really important for Icetill, so you can like mill it over and then make a bunch of mana with Icetill and dig through your deck. So they take my Karn. And then they main phase Surgical Karn, which I did. I didn't bring in the Emrakul. Maybe I should have brought in Emrakul. Although it's kind of hard to play around my opponent bringing in Surgical. This is a matchup where you can just, I think, outgrind them and get yourself into a spot where you can beat down with Icetill, although it's a tough thing to do. Vibrance is Sylvan Scrying, costs 2 green mana. The double green's just a non-starter in this deck, I think. Yeah, it is kind of sad that we can't play it. Yeah, I have played Cut Ribbons before in Coffers. It is fun. Mending in response? Okay. Discard a Force of Negation and Godless Shrine, so they still have a Consign in their hand. And they pitch that Consign to Subtlety my Icetill. They'll get to draw 2 off the Riddler. I'm going to keep this on top. As I mentioned before, I feel like opponent getting rid of Karns is one way or another is more common and sometimes flips the game around completely. I think you might be right. I think I'm a big advocate for running another WinCon main, even Mastermind's Acquisition. I would never play Mastermind's Acquisition, I guess. I think that card sucks, but I do have another WinCon. It's Emrakul the Aeons Torn. Maybe it should be Emrakul the Promised In, so I can just board it in any game, in any matchup. It's a bit easier to cast. worse against mill. But I do think the point of Karn just never goes away game, or almost never goes away game one. Right? It's just I think it just should be a sideboard thing, or we should do something like play like a Beseiju or Blast Zone in the deck, or like one Abrupt Decay or something like that. But I don't think that you I'm definitely open to playing another win con, but I was just trying to again earlier push back on the idea that this other win con needs to be a main deck option. Doesn't seem like that's the case to me still. How come no one's playing Elstorn? Elstorn sees a tiny bit of play sometimes, but yeah, it's not the most popular. Good side in an airship. Yeah, I don't know about one airship though. Maybe it's fine. My opponent says oops. Don't know what that's about. But I am open to like the Emrakul is like maybe just too fringe to be boarding in. I do like how resilient it is though too, and like here in game 3 we're gonna bring it in. Also like in this matchup, like you are right that people are like attacking the Karns way more often than I expected them to. But then it's like they're attacking the Karns more often than I expected them to. But am I realistically supposed to be bringing in am I supposed to expect my opponent to surgical extraction my Karns? It's so tough to read, which is why I think you are right that another win con can go a long way. Yeah, if Flare of the Hydra was a black land, it'd be so nice. I am gonna. I feel like we're in pretty reasonable shape here. We'll see. Kind of have to survive this turn. If only we had Umori. So they surgical by Clings. Pretty good. Oh, the Gates of Khazad-dûl. Yeah, could you get what's the text on that card? It's like that one and it masses, right? Where did they spend mana on the surgical? Oh, activate only if a creature died is rough. No, double green's not possible. For turn 2. Smooch with this 57 months, appreciate you too. House challenge. We beat Prowess, we lost to Living and lost to Mill. 2 matchups that I would consider tough. Yeah, I don't know about Cottage. So what's more important, a second Icetill? I think a first Thoughtseize probably. And then we're gonna need to find our second Edict here. We'll go to game 3. Oh, we do find it. Did you consider any builds from Mikey and Leo Chaos and Order? You gotta watch the YouTube video. And you gotta smash that like button. Yeah, you could play Lair. Lair's not that good though. There's also like a colorless Lair could be better. Alright, so probably not playing any more lands this game. Looking for a second Icetill to double our clock here. Having Clings and Karn surgical is pretty tough. You are definitely right that this is more relevant than I thought it was. Bossing Say. It only earthbends 2, right? I feel like I would want more of a mana sink. Does enter untapped a bit easier. So they have Consign and Prismatic Ending and Mystery Card. Yeah, I missed it on the Bugbear as well. Surprising they didn't counter the first one. Yeah, Crawling Barrens. Crawling Barrens could be it. So I have 15 cards left in my deck. I'm attacking my opponent for 2 down to 13 this turn. Then I have 4 more turns of attacking after that to get the job done. We are not playing any more lands this game. Listen, we've got Icetils. We need more win cons. Didn't we say Din was no bueno? Yeah, of course Din's no bueno. I just miss it. Of course it's all these issues. All these cards have problem that they're just kind of awful in the mana base. So, this is our whole deck here. I guess another Icetill increases the clock by a turn. And then, do I also just want to Thoughtseize? I mean, there's literally nothing else in my deck that does anything. I can't cast the. I guess could I cast the Icetill this turn? It wouldn't change the clock. I wouldn't Thoughtseize so you can potentially crack Revolt for Fatal Push on Subtlety. That's fair. So they cracked the fetch land. So now we beat a removal spell. Funny game. Yeah, surgical, no big deal. Don't need Karns in the deck. We're gonna cut them after this round. I think we keep these. I know the second ice still is pretty rough, but I think I'd be happy enough with this as like a 6-card hand, despite not having green mana. We have Thoughtseize in the Edict, and we have Urborg Coffers, and we have Explore to cycle once we find a green source. High variance hand, but I think you keep these. You have a lot of deck smoothing as well in the 75. So we're up against Dimir Flash. I think I take the Snare over Counterspell since I've got double Icetill, and I do want to resolve one or both of these 2 drops. Gonna be a good matchup for the Emrakul, by the way. Gives you so much inevitability. I meant the green-white Mikey and Leo. Oh, yeah, I mean, it's so obviously so hard to... Wait, are there 2 Mikey and Leos? I don't know what card's which here. That being said, I had that card in my video, and I just really couldn't see myself putting it in a deck, and I cut it from the video. Possibly there's like I thought maybe you could play it in Idyllic Grange, and I just decided that I didn't feel like it was worth including. So if I draw a land, then I'm gonna have... I think I should still play a Karn here. We only know about 1 counterspell, and if they have Consult the Star Charts, we stop them from kicking it this turn. Alright, I guess I bottom... I really want like Cling to Dust, Revelation, Green Source. There's 4 of each turtle by themselves. They can each get 2 color cards, so there's 6 each turtle in the set. Yeah, this is one thing I really dislike about these Universe Beyond sets. You know, beyond all of the other criticisms that no one else... I know everyone loves everything about them, but the one a problem I have is that it's too many cards with the same characters on them in one set. It's too much. I think it's bad design. I think it's not fun for me. I'm over it. It's too much. So they don't counterspell this, so they can kill it with an Edict. I could like maybe forgive 2, but like six cards of the same character in the same set is like ridiculous. Okay, we milled a Revelation, so we get rewarded for fetching in response here. Although I guess there's another mill happening here. So I guess I am milling this anyways, so we might as well try to mill another flashback spell. We mill a Pillage the Bog there. This was also a big problem with avatars. Like I'd be like, I'm playing Aang today, and my chatters would be like, okay, I don't know what you're talking about. That could be that. Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down, Spike? That you're playing Aang today? There's like three that like I guess I mostly just played the blue white one, but some people played the Bant one, some people played the 4-color one. So their hand is Counterspell, Fatal Push, 2 mystery cards. Interesting that they're thinking here. Typically, you're just gonna draw and then say go. Gator with the 42. Thank you. Welcome back, my friend. Good thing that Revelation doesn't trigger Bowmaster, by the way. Would Bossing Say be good in the deck? I don't know. Like lands that all these lands are so costly to play. We don't have that many basics. It would be another win con, but it's also like it just that makes a 2/2 every turn. It's not like even a fast win con. I'd probably play a Lair of the Hydra instead. So I don't want to push this right now because then that unlocks Fatal Push for them. And then I won't get my extra lands. So here's a Karn. Although at this point I'll only have 2 Karns left in the deck, including the one that's in my hand. And we know our opponent has a counter spell, so this is a little bit concerning. Maybe not in this deck. You should try Bossing Say, really powerful card. I mean, is it a card that makes like a lot of sense in Modern? Ever? I don't know. So let's get this down now. No! Oh, I could have played around it too. Fuck. I just totally didn't think they could have Spell Pierce here. That's maybe a game-losing play. Is it counterspell 2 mana? Maybe that's why I decided to play it now, but then we got we're gonna be able to get a Cityscape Leveler here too. I've already lost my Takenuma, unfortunately. Yeah, we've talked about Crawling Barrens. Definitely a lot of options in this deck. All right, pretty good grab. Been dying for a Cling to Dust. End of turn, make or Cling to Dust 4 times here. I guess I don't have enough for 4. Do I have enough for 4? Maybe I have enough for 3. Just gonna try to leave lands in the yard if I can for Icetill, although it's not super relevant at this point. Nihil with the 5 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Now maybe they have another Bowmaster. We do have an Edict, but then they have a counter spell, so there's dynamics at play. Maybe they have their own copy of Cling. This feels like they have something, doesn't it? Did you see the new black discard spell? You could choose between that and draw 2. I don't think I saw that. Could you link me that one? That's from the turtle set. I think they do have a Cling. I think I'm just still digging here. Maybe I oh yeah, I just can't Cling again. So now they're responding to this Cling. Or they're gonna respond with their own this Cling to Dust. I could have targeted that earlier also. Okay, then they just do nothing. I'm at 5. So let's go ahead and make a bucket of mana. Thoughtseize the counter spell or something else. Yeah, but if they Cling here from the yard, I didn't think it was that scary, right? Because they just tap out. It bothers me. Culling Ritual doesn't fit in the deck. Probably my favorite Golgari card. You could play some. It's just very tough with the requirements here or whatever. Probably better to Revelation first, right? We just see like our whole deck with this Pillage the Bog. Okay, just another pillage. So I only have one Karn left in my deck, so I'd rather grab a Thoughtseize first if I can to try to resolve the Karn. I mean, yeah, I guess this is just, is this the whole deck? This is 1, 2. I can't even tell. This is 7. So this is 21 cards. So it's not the whole deck. I think that's okay. Main deck, I think Tidebinders are cool and Dimir Flash. I haven't really thought too much about it. I would not have played it here. Now I can Karn. You could have stopped me from Karning. So basically always Mindslaver first. Is this still a spot for that? I think so, yeah. Let's see why not. Seems good against their hand too. Just a time walk. Yeah, people also, nobody wants to play against it. It's like just always people scooping it. Okay, very fun first game here. So I think my plan is to go -3 Sheoldred's Edicts, +1 Emrakul, +2 Duress. That was a great game. That Spell Pierce was a shot in the heart. Oh yeah, I can cling my own Mindslaver. Oh yeah, someone asked about Relic's Mindslaver. Obviously you don't want to Relic yourself, but you can cling to exile Mindslaver here, I guess. Kind of pretty relevant. Nice little synergy. There's a pretty good chance I play some more of this deck tomorrow with some little tweaks. Really liking it. Yeah, you can loop the Mindslaver with Cling to Dust. Don't need to loop it too many times. Or like really like the first Mindslaver is just almost always a win, but it's you know, you can. Okay, on the draw. Get a mulligan. Keep. I think we can put back the push. And we're gonna fetch on our turn for Overgrown Tomb, so Juan never has an opportunity to stop or to respond to us getting green mana. I guess we might still need to get a second green, so maybe that's not going to be the case. All right, scary card. Got to take that despite having an Explorer that gets snared. If I cast this Explorer, it just gets snared right now. I think that's probably an okay exchange because I just drew another 2-drop. You should plot Pillage anyway. It costs 3 mana to plot. And it still gets snared when it comes off the plot, right? Okay. I mean, this was an answer to the Karn that's in my hand that no longer is. They play a Watery Grave. I don't know that I'm ever going to not Duress plus Karn this turn. So I think I'll just do that and oh, they've got double consults. So I was thinking I was going to grab Airship here. Maybe now I cast the Pillage the Bog. Let's see if I find a better option. Double consult's pretty tough. Okay, so let's I think we'll just grab Icetill to try to set up for the Emrakul. Cast the Karn and maybe just plus the Karn this turn. Maybe that's a little too weak to Sheoldred's Edict. Maybe not that weak to Bowmaster, I guess. I think they must have cut the fields. Yeah, if they're playing Harbinger, they're not playing field, probably. Don't know why. I guess they would want to maybe see what I get off the Karn, but we're just going to plus. They choose pretty fast. We know they have subtlety. No, their hand is they have subtlety in the deck, yeah, but not in the hand. So they play a land. I'm gonna go and crack the fetch. Hope they don't have a Tidebinder. Maybe I should crack the fetch last turn. See if the Icetill resolves by maybe some miracle. Be really nice. So they're looking for subtlety. They crack their fetch wisely first so that Fatal Push is online. Fun game. They did find the Fatal Push, which is a little less than ideal. We can Leveler next turn if we draw a land. I think the Leveler is pretty good against the counterspell decks. We can Karn next turn if we don't. Maybe main phase Consult. Maybe a Harbinger. Main phase Juan. Well, I don't want to crack the fetch here. I could crack the fetch to get a basic swamp, which is maybe what they're trying to play towards. Okay, they have Field of Ruin. But I don't want to play towards that because then I'm on a 2-turn clock if they just ignore the Karn, and they can't ignore the Karn. Although now I'm on a 2-turn clock anyways. So they hit the coffers. Need to draw another one, I guess. Don't have that many other cards we could draw here. Now I've got 6 mana, so I guess I'm gonna go for new Karn plus Soulless Jailer as my plan to not be dead. Not the most likely to work, but sometimes you don't got anything better. Technically could also get Mite. Might, no pun intended, might be better because of the life gain. But this like locks down the Tidebinder in theory. Solar System with the 18 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Do you think a map in the site could help? It's really, really rare that you want a Karn for more mana. Like this is maybe a spot where that would be the case, although it's not. Well, they won't be able to escape the Cling. I mean, that's not nothing. Sub alert audios double. Check if you have another open stream at the moment, and then keep it open. Sharps again with the okay. They tank consign. Going to game 3 here. Although maybe it's just playing through my speakers. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I think it's probably just playing through my speakers. All right, game 3 on the play. Let's go. Yeah, we need. Can we check again? Can we get a sub test? I think we probably need like 10 gifted subs to get a thorough check here. No, we have 15 mana Emrakul. Could have either one here, but been liking 13 mana Emrakul. I guess I think is subtlety worse for me than Karn? I guess I could just redraw my stuff with base subtlety. I'll take the Tidebinder since I can duress the counterspell. Agent with the 27 months. Thank you. Welcome back. They keep a card. I notably draw an Icetill. I think I'm still going to grab Urborg here. I think we'll just plot this turn. Don't need to counterspell the or the rest of counterspell that badly now. Although maybe this means I can't Icetill next turn. Nice to have a basic swamp also in case they find a Harbinger. They cling my Thoughtseize. Now I'm set up to cling their cling. They have another Surveil land. I wonder if they would ever counter the cling on the cling. Let's go and lead on Duress here. Right. Take counterspell. Cling to dust, cling to dust. Now Okay, we have a green source for next turn. Is there anything we could find off the pillage that we'd want to play? Not really. I think maybe like a Revelations. I think I'm just going to hold it. Gonna take the subtlety here. They also have a Field of Ruin. Oh, sorry. I guess I clicked off a little too fast. Although if they Field of Ruin my Cabal Coffers next turn, we do just have a Icetill, thankfully. Although they have a Sheoldred's Edict, we can get a nice 2-for-1. Yeah, seems like I just want to get my Cabal Coffers back in play. And again, holding the pillage is just so good because if my opponent plays Harbinger, I know I can just try to dig for a Sheoldred's Edict. Or sorry, Fatal Push. Oh, I guess I won't have Revolt though. Well, I still think it's right to hold. Well, they do have it. They do have another Edict in their hand also. There's a Fatal Push. I guess I just won't have Revolt though, so maybe I should have had Edicts, some split of Edicts and push. We can Karn. As far as answers to the Harbinger, we did not add the Ballista. Explosives can only go for 2. Battleship is 2 mana short. I think I might... we're going to get our Karn Edicted, so we do have to minus. I guess I'm just going to get the Leveler. We're 2 mana away. I think that's better than... I think that's better than trying to... go Mindslaver plus activate. It's not even clear that it'll do anything. Can only explosives on 2 here, right? Just win with Wormcoil? I don't know about Wormcoil still. Okay. Well, that was their one unknown card. Their other card is another Edict. They do Edict the Karn. I don't know if that was correct on their part. It seems okay. We do draw a land, thankfully. Seems like we might as well main phase the cling. We could hit Revelations. We could hit a discard spell. Guess I overtapped. I don't think I get punished by anything by just casting it anyways. We want to leave in land. We want to exile our sorceries first so that we can leave Karn for Takenuma, lands for Icetill. And this does enter untapped next turn. So we know no card in their hand here. I cast Cityscape Leveler. Let's target the Harbinger, I think. And it works. Great game. The opponent plays a Scalding Tarn. And they concede, showing me 2 lands. Nice. So I guess let's get a 4-1 prediction going. I really like this deck. There's a very high chance that we just play this deck again tomorrow and then maybe have another backup deck, or I'll have another backup deck, but this feels one I want to spend a little bit of time tweaking, especially the sideboard and like that extra win con. We also could maybe go... I've been liking the 2 Scryings, but you could do something else in that spot. They aren't like super duper necessary, I guess. Right, on the play. We could maybe main deck Promised End. I don't think that'd be the worst thing ever. Have I gotten the Airship ever? I wanted to get it once, and then my Karn got countered. Airship, Ballista could be better than Airship, I think. I'm not sure on that one either. That's definitely a decision point as well. Thoughts on Nest of Scares with Moonshadow, Brilliant Battler is Nest playable? I wouldn't think Nest is playable. There are a ton of can you Mana Tithe here? No. There are a ton of 3 mana artifacts or enchantments that if you untap with them, you win the game. There's like, it's like an endless list of like it's even like a formula in Modern. If you like, untap with them, you're just gonna pop off. Some of them that I think are a little bit better than others are like Monument to Endurance, where Monument's a card that you can get value from immediately, which is really cool compared to some other stuff. And you could also do that with Nest of Scarabs sometimes, but I think your big payoff being getting a bunch of 1/1s is like it will be powerful when you do it, but it isn't I think different enough from some of the other options, I guess. I guess I would say that. Interesting. I think we're playing against again, if they want to Voidwalker for Thoughtseize, that's fine. But I think we're playing against Necro. I don't think you Voidwalker that often without Necro. And the Shores is also kind of a Necro card. I guess we need to take the Frog. Been a lot of cool opponents today. So they drew a Thoughtseize. They get my Karn. And then they don't attack, so they're going to cast Karn? What? Let's see if we can find a Fatal Push while they're tapped out of Force of Negation. Right, I'm going to take the Cabal Coffers instead of the Sheoldred's Edict. Yeah, but weird that they wouldn't attack there, because, like, they couldn't play any of the stuff here at instant speed. Voidwalker pretty good against me. I mean, I've got a good bit of answers for it, but I do like my graveyard. So they hand is Sheoldred's Edict, Force of Negation, Mystery card. So I don't think it makes that much sense to just run the Karn out at the moment. Maybe I guess I could have Coffers first. A little bit worse if I draw Icetill, although that just gets Edicted. Are they thinking about forcing that? I mean, maybe they... I guess it seems like they thought about it for a second. Alright, cool. So now their hand is Edict, Mystery card. We have 5, 6, 7, technically 8 mana next turn. I'm down to 12 now. Maybe they have another Force of Negation, and that's why they force the Explorer. So that does seem like this is a good spot to redeploy the Karn. Now, if I get Cityscape Leveler like I want to, I need to draw a land to play it. Shout out Wormcoil Engine, which was, of course, wouldn't be that good here. Yeah, I only have 7. They're gonna Edict the Karn. There's not much thinking there. Bridge is a little bit weird. I could get Bridge. I think I'm just gonna get the Leveler and put myself in a spot where a lot of the lands or a lot of the spells I draw will have good utility, and then a land will let me Leveler. Yeah, if they have a third, is it second Thoughtseize or third Thoughtseize? If they have another Thoughtseize, this is not ideal. I agree. All right, so now we have 9 mana. Get leveled. Loving the third Mortuary. So we have a true turn clock with the Leveler. We have 9 mana right now. We have 7 if we draw any, or we can Karn for a 7 drop if we find any regular land. I don't think there's that's very relevant. So we'll just graveyard the swamp. Draw a swamp anyways. Go to combat first. I guess we'll play Swamp and just see if Karn resolves first before we do anything else. I might Stone Brain so I can see their deck. I'm not able to trigger Airship. Otherwise, if I drew a fetch land, I guess I would get Airship. Let's just see if Karn resolves before we decide what we get. All right, no thinking, huh? So yeah, if they do draw Necro, we're still not dead to Soul Spike. Now they have a basic island in their deck. Does one basic island and does Flooded Strand mean that they aren't playing Necro? Yeah, I guess that kind of seems more like they're just Dimir Frog that's playing Dauthi Voidwalker for some reason. They attack super fast. I don't know what this means. What does this mean? All right, I go to combat. Tidebinder? Okay, another subtlety to block. So they go to 1. Shout out Walking Ballista. I think I might just Stonebrain Sheoldred's Edict here. We know they have at least one in their deck. They know I have Karn, though. I think they'll concede to this. Yeah. All right, so we get to bring in the Aeons Torn again. Yeah, I think I'll just go 1 Aeons Torn for 1 Scrying. Maybe I don't know if I want Duress against them. Yeah, 1 Duress for 1 Scrying is okay, probably. Yeah, maybe another one. Yeah, I guess you're just gonna have a lot of counter magic, obviously. Do something like this. Emrakul needs to be main deck. Why? Is it Mindslaver when we didn't have enough mana to play and activate Mindslaver? Chef Flutes, the 29 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Appreciate you. If I was going to main deck an Emrakul, it'd be a Promised End, which I think we could maybe do. Could cut the second Sylvan Scrying for a Promised End. It's kind of funny. So we both keep 7. They Thoughtseize my Duress. Everything is normal. Keeping that. Yeah, there's a lot of this inspired by the I can't remember their username. Carol, I think is their username. I was playing the Omori version. Just how good Revelation's been in that deck, and then of course the big breakthrough maybe um is that a Revelation plus Icetill makes Icetill a really good card advantage spell. A Walry, yeah, sorry, I knew it was like 5 letters. How do you go fast lands versus Verge lands? I mean, it just depends on the deck. Depends on like what your are you 2 colors? Are you splash colors? What's your mana curve like? What's your other lands look like? Yeah, we'll take the Thoughtseize and then try to clear the way for Icetill. We also get to mill a Cling to Dust there, which is nice. Do you think Mighty Mute Animals has a place in Modern? I hope not. What does this card do? They have a Bowmaster. Yeah, I don't know which card that was, but if you'll link it, I'll read it. I think I'll be able to pay for Spell Pierce since I'm going to Edict anyways, and I'm going to shock an Overgrown Tomb anyways. So they're going to play another Bowmaster. I'm going to Edict the Bowmaster. Maybe I Edict the token. Yeah, let's Edict the token. So let's do that after they attack next turn, because maybe they'll just play a 3rd Bowmaster. No, I think this card's not close to being the appropriate power level for a 4-drop in Modern. They probably should main phase the other Bowmaster, or on their turn play the other Bowmaster. Not even as a combo piece of Brood Skull? Yeah, why would it be a good combo piece of Brood Skull? There's like several other better combo pieces with it. So those subtlety pitch subtlety, I would think. If they don't, that's a win. Oh, they did know about the edict. Yeah, you're right. They're thinking about not. Wow, they don't. I guess I'm really happy with that. We mill and explore. I imagine they'll play the third Bowmaster here. All right, now that they did draw the untap land, so they have hardcast subtlety up. So we're gonna take 3. I guess we might need to plan to escape Cling to Dust on a creature to be alive. Let's see what we surveil into. We mill the Emrakul, which is a nightmare because we lose our Cling to Dust. Fuck. I guess that'll happen sometimes. And we get to keep the Fatal Push at least. I think I want to make them attack. This is obviously weak to them drawing a counterspell. They do have another subtlety in their hand. They've got 1 mystery card as well. We mill and explore, and then we graveyard a Cabal Coffers, which we can play off of our Icetill. I'm at 2 life points. Thoughtseize an unhelpful draw. Looking for a Cling or a Revelation. We find a Cling. So in order to play this Cling, we are going to crack this fetch. We have to crack this fetch. We might as well do this now because we might also find a Revelation, right? Oh, but then we died to the Bowmaster just with both of them here. But there's just no there's no other way to Cling here. So the Emrakul betrayed us. Yeah, I'm dead on board now, but it's not like I had a different move, did I? Oh, could I have legend rolled Urborg? Oh, I could have legend rolled Urborg. Right, okay, so I guess that was the move. Game 3. Right, on the play for game 3. What'd I have to fetch? I needed another card in the yard to escape Cling. But I could have just legend rolled the Urborg. Okay, on the play. Keeping our 7. Maybe I missed something. Why couldn't we Cling for life? We could, but then we go to 4 and then we take 4 damage. Because of the Bowmaster attack. And the Orc Army. And we couldn't draw something because of the Bowmaster either. I think we should Revelation this turn probably. If my opponent has a 2-mana creature, we kind of just want to Edict it. Then we can go like Thoughtseize Edict next turn maybe. If they snare, that's okay. That's okay too. Kind of maybe good if they have Island and Dothi Voidwalker to not play Urborg this turn, to not let them play the Dothi Voidwalker. Likely would be super duper minor. They play a frog. Could I maybe want... I think I want to Thoughtseize this turn because of Harbinger. It's funny, as soon as I say there's not a lot of Harbingers in the format, we play against a bunch of Dimir decks, but that's how it goes. Love that their hand is just removal spells, though. Oh, a land also, although they go to their second main phase, they play Watergrave tapped, push Sheoldred's Edict to Mystery card over there. I find a Cabal Coffers. I guess I should play around Spell Pierce. So we can't quite flesh back the Revelation, but I think I'll go ahead and just cling to dust a Spell Pierce with 4 black mana floating. Although I guess I probably could have cracked my fetch, so I could have also escaped Cling this turn. Not the biggest deal ever. We do find an Icetill Explorer. I'm not necessarily in a big rush to play this Icetill, since my opponent has 2 cards that kill it in their hand. I think I'll just flashback Revelation here. Maybe Explore also, we'll see. Just find some lands. I guess I'll take the Mortuary and see if they do have the Spell Pierce. Don't think we should play around it. I think I'll Graveyard Fatal Push and then pass the turn here. Probably we'll just take our 2-for-1 with the Icetill this next turn. How far away from this are we? This is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 when I play my land. So we can cast this next turn by my calculations. And the Icetill will give me the extra mana I need to be able to cast it next turn. Might have miscounted, I think I'm right. Maybe I should have played my Delta first so that I get the extra land in play, but I think I still have exactly enough next turn. Although they do have Sheoldred's Edict for Emrakul, huh? It's a little bit annoying. Why no Ghost Quarter? It's not a big part of this deck's game plan. Because with all of the big flashback spells, you just kind of you're just so mana hungry that I don't think you're gonna find yourself trying to loop Ghost Quarter that often, and it is really costly to have another colorless land in the deck. It's not like close to being a free thing. 1 Gaia Reach, Surveil lands I think offer. Oh my gosh. So now I can't cast Emrakul because they just cast it themselves. Okay, thankfully we have a Sheoldred's Edict. If their 1 unknown card is a counterspell, things are all of a sudden really scary. Let me get the last Surveil land. Okay, definitely want to keep that. But there would be many, I think, utility lands we'd play over Gaia Reach. You know, Gaia Reach just also lets your opponent draw a card. There's just other better card advantage lands. So cast this. We have 6 mana available afterwards. Seems like I should just grab a Karn. Bad if they have like a counter spell that gets this and doesn't force the Edict, but I think this will likely force the Edict. But it's just like every fetch land is so good in your Icetill Surveil land deck. It's just so hard to play other utility lands when you already have all these other things. Play around Pierce. I got 2 mana up. Is the aspect of Ghost Quarter and Coffers to replay with Icetill worthwhile benefit or niche? I mean, it'll be really nice, but Ghost Quarter is also a big cost to play in this deck with what it does to the mana, and to me, that's just that upside's not enough, albeit really cool. I guess we should be able to find a discard spell before we Emrakul. Maybe. I guess they could have Tidebinder, right? Oh no, I'm 1 mana short. I miscounted my mana. Thought I had exactly enough. Okay, although they did have the Edict, funny enough. Why can't we just Emrakul? My opponent could have Sheoldred's Edict. I thought I had enough to Emrakul here, but seems fine. Maybe one of Ugin. Yeah, maybe we could play one Ugin in the main also. Could see that being fine. I don't think the Ugin's like super good in the metagame anymore necessarily. It's not super bad either. All right, well, I'm going to cast Emrakul. We 4-1. I like this deck a lot. It does feel like the core here is really good. It does feel like the core here is really good. I think I want to play at least one more league of this tomorrow to get a little bit more challenge ready for Friday. I'm very likely to cut the second Sylvan Scrying for like an Ugin or a Emrakul the Promised End, and then if I have that in the main deck, then I probably will cut Emrakul the Aeons Torn, and then we run into Mill. I will say I don't think the Airship played very well today, so it's possible that Sundering Titan or Ballista gets it in this slot. I also do wonder if we could play something better than Duress for our sideboard suite, possibly something like Dothy Voidwalker. Although I have like the Duress, could even play a third Duress in the sideboard too. Because you do need another like non-tutor target here for the Karn board. Although we could maybe be playing an extra needle and a disruptor flute, bring in the flute a bunch, something like that. So I'm gonna try to figure out the sideboard map a little bit and try to bring this for the challenge tomorrow is my current plan. That is gonna be all for me today. Not sure what the backup deck's gonna be. Got a few things in the queue. Wednesday, no stream. There's Magic Online maintenance because the turtle set's coming.